Today we're going to start talking about exponent and order of operations, and we're going to just review this concept because you should have already learned this in another class. So whenever I take notes, I always like to highlight important things so it stands out in my eyes when I am studying my notes or when I'm referencing them for my homework. So I want to make sure that you have different colored highlighters or two different colored pens on your desk before getting started on this worksheet. If you need to pause the video at any time, pause it so that way you are ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight my heading, and I should have probably picked a thicker tab. Okay. So we're going to first talk about exponents. So the front is about exponents, the back is about order of operations. So whenever I write in black, that typically means I'm writing in pencil. So since I highlighted what is an exponent, I'm now going to switch to my pencil. I'm not writing everything in color. So what is an exponent? An exponent is, sorry, this stylus isn't the best. The number of times a base is multiplied by itself. My handwriting looks a little terrible on this, so I'm sorry. It's just the stylus. So an exponent is the number of times a base is multiplied by itself. So if I have a big number, let's call it 8. 8 is going to be my base. And then I have a little number at the top right corner, which is my exponent, so I'll call that 2. So that's my exponent. So that means I'm going to take 8, and I'm going to multiply it by itself 2 times. So that's just like saying 8 times 8, and 8 times 8 is 64. So far we've only talked about exponents with positive bases, so notice it's positive 8 there. What happens if my bases are negative? So if I have negative bases, and I'm going to zoom in so I can write really big so we can see it. Negative 3 to the 4th power, well, that's just the same thing as saying negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Notice I don't have to put multiplication signs between my parentheses because when nothing's there, it's assumed to be multiplication. So negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. And this negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. And 9 times 9 is 81. So negative 3 to the 4th power is positive 81. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Negative 5 to the 2nd power. So that's going to be negative 5 times negative 5. So negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. We go ahead and we look at the next one. Negative 5 to the 3rd power. So that's going to be negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. Well, we just said negative 5 times negative 5 was 25. So what's 25 times negative 5? Well, positive times a negative, I know it's going to be negative. 25 times 5, that's negative 125. All right, let's do one more. Negative 4 to the 3rd, so that's negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. So then I have to do 16 times negative 4. 16 times negative 4, that's going to be negative, and it's 64. So what do you notice? Notice negative 3. I want to know how I know when my answer is going to be positive and when my answer is going to be negative. So do you notice anything? How do I get from here to here, and here to here, and here to here, and here to here without showing any work? So hopefully you notice that when your exponent is even, you have a positive answer, and when your exponent is odd, you have a negative answer. So what do you notice if we write that down? When base is in parentheses, the exponent tells you if answer is positive or negative. So, how I write that? Even exponent equals positive answer. Odd exponent equals negative answer. Notice I wrote this in red because it sticks out to me. So whenever I write in a color, that's when you should highlight. So kind of just remembering as we're going along. So you have 6 practice problems down here. I want you to try those 6 practice problems on your own, and then I want you to come and get them checked by me. So now, what if I have negative bases without parentheses? So if I have negative bases without parentheses, my life is going to be a little different. If I have negative bases without parentheses, your answer is whatever your base is. So answer is whatever base is. So if my base is positive, my answer is positive. My base is negative, my answer is negative. This only works when I don't have parentheses. So when I have parentheses, notice all these problems up here I had parentheses, I do the even odd trick. Down here, if you look at these examples, I don't have parentheses, so whatever the base is what my answer is. So if I look at number 1, is my base, what's my base? My base is 6. Is 6 positive or negative? It's positive, so my answer is going to be positive. So 6 squared is what? 36. All right, look at number 2. What's your base? My base is 4. It's not in parentheses. So is it positive or negative? It's positive. So 4 to the first power is just 4, because 4 times 1, essentially, it's just 1 time you're writing it. Look at number 3. What's my base? Negative 5. Negative 5, since it's not in parentheses, because that's negative, my answer is negative. Negative 5 squared, so that's just going to be negative 25. Negative 6 is my base. Is it in parentheses? Nope. So whatever my base is what my answer is, so it's negative. So negative 6 squared is negative 36. So I want you to try number 5 on your own, and then I'm going to give you number 6. And then once you finish number 6, I want you to bring this worksheet to me, please. I'm going to do negative 2 to the third power, and I lied, I'm going to give you number 7 too. And we're going to do negative 4 to the second power. So when you finish these 3 problems, bring this worksheet to me.